All right, so Garen,
Yeah.
over the past month, first of all, do you stay at the temple?
No, well, I mean, I've been sleeping at the temple, but for the most part, I've been out because dwarves like to drink.
True.
Yeah. And I also sold my crossbow and got a blunderbuss.
Right
So
on.
I've been learning how to use that.
Okay.
And so I've kind of been back and forth between the temple, the pubs, and some sort of shooting range where I can
Drinking and guns.
Drinking and guns.
Yeah. There's an engineering guild,
Okay.
and actually getting into the engineering guild is not too difficult because Constantine has like a house and like an office there.
I like the sounds of that.
So Constantine has like, I wouldn't say you guys are on friendly terms, but I mean he acts friendly towards you because you did escort him safely
Yeah.
to
No,
the
I'm
city.
cool with Constantine.
So get into the engineers guild, getting yourself a blunderbuss, finding a place to shoot it, no problem. In fact, spending a lot of time to learn how to shoot it properly and as safely as possible probably doesn't cost you anything because there would be engineers that would be willing to pay for the ammo so they could see it in action without themselves being in danger. So they can observe safely.
All right.
And then they'll make like suggestions on how to make it better and how to trick it out and stuff like that, and they all sound incredibly dangerous.
How to
Sweet.
trick it out.
Yeah.
I'm cool with all of them.
Spinners on my blunderbuss.
You can try with like 2 bullets with a chain in between them. Yeah, just horrible,
Oh, that's
horrible
pretty much a
ideas.
hand cannon.
Yeah, horrible, horrible ideas.
Firing an explosive shot.
Another thing that happens over the month is you find out that the mercenary group that you were a part of has been completely disbanded. The official word on the group that you were with, and the group that you were with when you were fighting and got your injury, that wasn't the only group that's part of that mercenary band. There was several of them, but the group that you were with, none of them made it back.
Right.
Which brings up the question is, how did you get back?
Right.
Because nobody says, I found you on the battlefield and brought you back.
Yeah.
You
I just
just
kind of woke up in my
made
house.
it back. Yeah. But the entire mercenary band has been completely disbanded. They're just gone. And everyone who was left that was part of that band has found employment somewhere else far away.
Okay.
Which is weird. So that's kind of weird. You start your new career as a gunner. And if you wanted to, you could probably find work with another mercenary group. Or you might even be able to, you could probably work for the Engineers Guild
Yeah.
as a test shooter, test gunner.
Let's do that.
What's the
Okay.
compensation for that?
Free
Room
ammo.
and board, free ammo, all you want.
I was gonna say as much as you want, or
Yeah.
just like every time you shoot, you get ammo.
Yeah.
No one else is going to use them.
Yeah. Medical attention for the inevitable blow up.
Oh, so I
And-
get room and board there? That's awesome.
Yeah, and
Alright.
probably gold. You probably get some gold. You get enough gold to keep yourself well into the cups every night.
Alright. So I guess I'm staying at the Engineers Guild then.
Your game's done. You're just
Yeah.
happily about
Yeah.
it.
Where I'm-
Check.
See you guys.
I live for the next 12 days.
Let's see here. Day 1, you're good. Day 2,
You have to do that for
You're
30
good.
days.
day 3, you're dead.
Really?
Oh no, there you're good.
Oh, no.
Day 4, there we go. Day 4, you take 9 lethal damage.
How do I even apply that?
No, I'm just kidding. I was just thinking, if that's it, I'm just staying there. I'm not adventuring anymore. Let's see how long it lasts. 4 days. 9
4
lethal
whole
damage.
days.
Was that really representative of the danger of the month?
Yeah.
If he was like, I'm not adventuring with you, my character's done. That's That's
That's
the
a full day of firing every day for 4 days.
Yeah.
So you could probably,
Every time he shoots the gun, I roll these, and if it comes up black skull and nothing on this die, it misfires, and I roll 1d12 lethal damage to him and
Does the
his
gun
face.
blow up as well?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It backfires in my face.
Yeah. And that's what guns are. It's awesome. But the blunderbuss, even though it takes 2 rounds to load, it does +4? Did I say +4 or +2?
+3 more.
+3 mortal damage.
Wow.
Yeah. So getting hit with this thing is not good.
And I roll 7d8s.
Yeah. So it's a beast of a killer. All right. So you're enjoying your time. You don't have to shoot the blunderbuss as much as you thought you would, because even from a far distance, their skills, they're still scared. Except for the dwarves. The dwarves are all like, "Yeah, go for it. It'll be fine."
It's awesome.
Yeah, Constantine's working on some kind of suit that you can wear.
Nice.
That's like a suit of plate that will specifically protect the pieces of you that are closest to the exploding gun.
I am Iron Dwarf.
And then one day, a young scholar comes up, stops and makes sure you're not shooting the gun or holding the gun or anywhere near the gun, and then comes up and gives you a note. It says, "Yeah, this kid,
He bought it.
this kid just
Yeah.
delivered this to the."
At the Engineers Guild.
Yeah.
I bought it. Okay, sorry.
That's right. Yeah. This
Yeah,
kid
just
just
sell
dropped
us
this off at the front door of the guild. Says it was for you.
Okay.
Anyway, here you go. When are you shooting the gun again? I want to take notes.
Yeah. Alright, so I'll take a look at what he dropped off.
Okay. Did you ignore the guy and just say, piss off?
Oh, well, I guess I can tell him when I'm shooting next.
Okay.
I don't know, when am I shooting next?
Whenever you feel like it.
When I feel like it?
Yeah.
Probably in a couple days.
Alright, there we go. And he runs off and he's like making a
That's
note.
when you should have been like, we're looking for live targets.
Want me to shoot an apple off your head?
Targets.
With a blunderbuss.
I need
You
a,
just aim really high.
need a watermelon and a volunteer. That'd be horrible. Okay, so you get a note, and the note is from Darnan Stoneskin. Darnan Stoneskin was another merc that was part of your mercenary band and was actually with you in that battle. So he's supposed to be dead.
Mhm.
He was also a medic, a field medic, and he's a dwarf. And it says, meet me, and it gives you an address, and it gives you a time, which is like really late at night. And the address is in a really seedy part of town. Yeah, and you have to go through a couple alleys to get there.
It's in the dead end alley.
Why alleys?
Because they're awesome. Alleys are like the best part of a city.
Is this alley filled with blood and has a hole in the wall?
So much damage
No.
happens to this alley.
Well, if I go, I'm taking my gun.
Does it have a name?
I don't know. I'll have to come up with some sort of name for it.
Lucinda.
Lucinda.
Cinda.
Call it Bertha.
Bertha.
Boom.
Boom.
Big Bertha.
Right now on my sheet, it's just called B-Bus.
B-bust. BB.
BB. It's my BB gun.
So, you go?
Misleading.
yeah.
What's that?
I said BB gun's misleading.
Yeah. Alright, so you make your way through the city late at night, through dark alleys, to this seedy spot, with a blunderbuss. Nobody messes with you, oddly enough. That was a big dwarf with a big gun. Let's wait for another passerby.
Oh, yeah, they actually just carry blunderbusses around at night without.
Someone's gonna tell me not
Without a
to.
permit.
Yeah. It's a permit.
That'd be kind of funny. That's actually a really good question. But, you know, you'd probably have a permit from the Engineers Guild.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Which the guards don't like, but you're in a seedy part of town with no guards, so it's no big deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, but with a shotgun time. Yeah.
So you make your way through these dark alleys. Nobody messes with you. You get to this door. It's half hanging off its hinges. You manage to get your way through it. It falls down. You're in an abandoned building, and you can hear rustling and little squeaks, and you're thinking it's probably a rat-infested hole.
Shoot it.
Center pillar, load bearing. Boom. Done. In one refuse-covered corner, you find a half-rotten staircase leading down to the cellar where you're supposed to meet Darnan Stoneskin.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Is there how lit is this place?
It's not.
Is there anything nearby that I can light, like a lamp on a counter or anything?
Not really, no.
How's your night vision as a dwarf?
You got good night vision.
Yeah, I got night vision.
Yeah, dwarves are good.
Alright.
You can't see far, but
Yeah.
you can see well.
Alright, let's go down.
All right, you go down to this seedy cellar full of just garbage and rotting crates. But in one corner, there's a small area that's been cleaned out. It's got a couple of crates that aren't rotten, bedroll, and a big stack of books. And sitting on one of the crates is indeed Darnan Stoneskin.
Interesting.
He's wearing a patch over one eye, big bandage. You can't see much of the wound, but it goes all the way like into his scalp type thing, and down over his chin. So whatever hit him, like really hit him hard. He's wearing clothes. They're pretty grimy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Well, he's not wearing rags or armor
Yeah.
or anything. He's just wearing standard clothes, but they are dirty and they're ragged. It smells like crap down here. And he's got this sheen over his skin, like he's been sweating a lot, but he's also got this weird gleam in his eye, like he's not really all there.
Interesting.
Time to take care of the homeless problem.
Awesome. All right, so Darnan says, "Good, you came. Come here." And he
Okay.
kind of waves you over to where he's got like his bedroll set up, and he lights a candle, and he takes one of the books, and he kind of tosses it on the ground in front of you.
Okay.
You need to read this right now. Everything they told you was a lie. Everything you think happened in that battle was wrong. And I'm going to tell you everything. But first you need to know this.
Okay.
Do you have academics?
I was gonna say, can you read? I'm pretty sure I
Academics.
can read.
Yep. Plus, and a good bonus to dwarven history.
There we go. Good. Okay. That's what I thought.
I do have academics.
Okay. Perfect. So it's a
Read
I
dwarf.
this.
can't read.
I can't read! Why would you taunt me?
It's a dwarven tome, and it's about the dwarven gods. And there's a piece of filthy rag that's been stuffed into one of the pages where he obviously wants you to go to read.
Right.
And you get there, and he just kind of sits back and doesn't say anything and is waiting for you to read.
Okay.
You don't have to read the whole thing, but basically, skimming it real quickly, it's about the dwarven god Grimnir. And you know a little bit, just being a dwarf, what Grimnir is about. Grimnir is the Slayer god. There's a bunch of dwarves who somehow dishonored themselves, and in order to regain their honor, they started to follow Grimnir, and they shave their heads. Sometimes they get the crazy orange mohawks, and they take up the career of troll slaying. And a troll is not something you can kill easily, so most of the time they march out to kill trolls, and it's just suicide.
Right.
And that's how they regain their honor. And if somehow they manage to survive all the way through the career of troll slayer, they become giant slayers. So again, they're dishonored, and they're trying to regain it by basically monster hunting to death. So Grimnir is the dwarven slayer god. Now what you find out that you didn't know is the reason he's the dwarven slayer god is when chaos first entered the world and the hordes of chaos came down from the north, Grimnir took 2 magical battle axes and said, "You know what? I'm going to go stop them." And he kind of marched into the north as a god to destroy chaos and never came back. He's just gone. So you read that.
Okay.
And you're like, okay, well, I knew most of that, but now I know more.
Mhm.
Wonderful. And you look at Darnan, and Darnan says, "So you know about Grimnir then?"
Yep.
Okay. He takes another tome, and he tosses it in front of you. This one's not dwarven, this one's human.
Why can't you just pass them to me? I assume I'm close enough, so I'm reading by candlelight.
Yeah, that's true. It's actually a good question. He doesn't really seem to want to be near you. And if you kind of step closer to him, he shuffles away.
All right.
Yeah. You're not sure. You don't know if he's just a little crazy or if he's scared of you. But he's definitely uncomfortable.
Okay.
And still off. This one's kind of creepy. It looks like it's bound in skin. Yeah. It's filled with weird swirly runes all over the parchment. And you're not sure if it's the flickering of the candle or your imagination, but they look like they're shifting and moving. And again, there's a kind of soiled rag stuffed into some of the pages. And you want to open it up?
Well, yeah.
All right. So you open this up.
Nah,
I'm not gonna shoot it.
No!
Just turn around, leave.
So you open up to where the bookmark is,
Mhm.
and instead of being written left to right, it's written in like swirls that you have to follow, and the printing gets bigger and smaller,
That's annoying.
and it's really, really hard to read, and it makes your head hurt, especially by candlelight.
Mhm.
What you read what is immediately apparent forbidden knowledge about the chaos god Malal. Now you know that there are chaos gods, and chaos is bad, and chaos wants to destroy the world. And anything to deal with the chaos gods is all forbidden. There's cults and all that. You didn't know there were specific gods and they had names and stuff, but there is one called Malal who's apparently a renegade chaos god. So he's a god of chaos who's trying to kill the other chaos gods. This is kind of freaky. Still completely forbidden to actually follow this guy, but you learn about that,
Okay.
which you didn't know before. So you skim that, and you're like, okay, that was weird. And you look up at Darnan, and he says, what if they were the same god?
That's what I was just thinking.
Okay.
What if Grimnir went and didn't die, or wasn't destroyed, but became that? I don't know what he was tapping just there.
But how would a
He
non-
doesn't have a
but how would a
clipboard.
non-chaos god become a chaos god in the first place?
By being corrupted by chaos.
But he wasn't corrupted enough to stay aligned with chaos, is what he's saying.
Now, he's chaos, but he's against the chaos.
Right.
Yeah,
So he got corrupted by it, but he's still against it.
exactly. What if they were the same? Yeah, we're totally in sync.
That's an interesting theory.
Yeah. So, what I want you to do is I want you to look at your hammer now.
Okay.
And then he takes a piece of parchment where he's sketched. And there's a whole lot of sketches that have been crossed out because he didn't get them right. But then there's one ruin that's a dwarven ruin. And then next to it is this weird swirly ruin that's definitely not dwarven whatsoever and reminds you of the Chaos Book.
Okay.
He says, there, look, your hammer.
Okay. So I'll compare.
Okay. So you're looking, and your hammer is covered in all the dwarven ruins.
Mhm.
And you find the one that he's drawn. It's there. You have no idea what it means because you haven't studied that.
Right.
But there's definitely that dwarven ruin on your hammer. Now, looking through some of the others, and in your backstory, there's a little bit about how you thought maybe they were changing.
Mm-hmm.
You find one that matches the weird symbol that's not dwarven.
Right.
And that's also on your hammer. And as you're looking, he kind of shuffles over and says, in the battle, when you fell, your hammer exploded with darkness, and everybody died but you.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you're looking at the hammer, and he's telling that, and he keeps getting closer.
Then, yeah. How is he alive?
Yeah. How is he alive? Yeah, that's a good question. Do you look at him and ask him that?
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, look at the hammer again. We'll show you. We'll show you. It's right there. Do you look at where he's pointing?
Sure.
All right. So you're looking at the hammer again, and you found the two ruins. The only ruin that you know for sure and what it does is the one that allows you to return the hammer back to your hand.
Right.
And he's pointing at it, and he keeps whispering, it's the key. It's the key. And then you hear him, and it just creeps you out because he's right there. I'm so sorry. And then you feel a dagger blade enter the back of your neck.
Sweet.
Say what?
Yeah.
Colin's first death.
I didn't even get to blow myself up.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It'd be cool if Colin's hammer explodes, then his gun explodes, tears the whole place down.
Yeah.
Block is destroyed.
So it does 9 mortal damage to the back of your neck.
It's a lot of damage.
Yeah. Everything starts to go dark, and the last thing you see is that weird swirly rune start to glow, and then start to move, and then everything goes dark. When you wake up, you're still in the cellar. There's no dagger in the back of your neck. There's a shriveled, dusty corpse of a dwarf next to you.
Interesting.
Like, all the life and fluids and everything, organs, all of it, have been basically just sucked right out of this thing. And it's nothing but a dusty corpse of skin barely hold on to bones. And it's the morning.
Am I still wounded?
No, you're good.
Oh,
You're
well.
healed.
So my hammer sucked all his life out to save me.
Colin can't be killed.
Sweet, I can blow myself up at will. Just don't be near me or my
Yes,
hammer
try
might
it.
suck your life out.
Yeah.
You said
We
vampire.
have to test this, so what we'll do is
Yeah.
we'll put his blunderbuss on a pedestal, attach a string to the trigger, have Colin in front of it, yank it.
And just have a volunteer nearby.
Yeah. See if it sucks the life out of him. So my,
Yeah.
you said you called vampire, but you didn't think it was going to be my hammer.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, all that weirdness aside, you're alive, you're unhurt. There are now 2 ruins on your hammer that you think you know the return one.
Mhm.
That one, you're pretty sure you understand how that works.
Right.
You're not really sure if you're supposed to be using that. It seems horrible.
What, the return one?
No, the
No.
other one.
Oh, the other, the
Yeah.
good one.
The good one.
The awesome one.
the really awesome one that's not so good, but awesome. Yeah. And your friend is dead. Although I don't know if you guys were really friends or close, but
But
still.
we did shank me in the neck.
Yeah.
I don't feel too bad.
Over.
He apologized while he did it. And there's something definitely with your hammer. He kept pointing it, saying it was the key. You're not really sure to what. And of course, it has something to do with this theory that the Dwarven Slayer god is actually the Renegade Chaos god at the same time, which is really weird. And any dwarf that you told that to would probably want to kill you.
Yeah.
And if you told it to any of the Troll Slayers or Giant Slayers, they would definitely try to kill you.
Yeah, I'm probably just going to keep that information to
Yeah,
myself.
yeah. Wild, crazy theory of a crazy, weird dwarf. But it might be a good idea to start investing in, like, rune lore and stuff like that in the future.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because your hammer is definitely more than what you thought it was.
I gotta be careful who I get to look at it, though.
What's that?
Should I probably be careful who I get to investigate it, though?
Yeah.
I guess
Check
that's
out this room.
I guess that's something I should undertake myself.
Where
instead
did
of-
you get that
Check
from?
this out. What does this one do?
Yeah.
Well, the hammer has been handed down through generations of
No, not
of
that
my
one.
family.
Okay.
And it was traditionally just dwarven runes on it. But after the battle that I was the only survivor, the runes changed.
Okay.
The battle where you were fighting against chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was the only survivor. Except for this guy, who's now dead. So he's still the only
Now
survivor.
he's the only
Yeah.
survivor. Until we find the next one.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was just cleanup.
Yeah.